again with another review and recap video of my last ski trip, which was just over a week ago now. This one did take a little while to get around to. It kind of stunk. Things have been going on, but that's okay. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about skiing. And we're going to talk about day 2, my second day up over at Suicide 6 over here in Pomfret, Vermont. Was there early in the season. One of my first places I went this year. Killington was my first. I think Suicide 6 was my second. It was very early season. If you'd like to take a look at that, check, I'll put it up here in the corner so you can take a look at that one after this one or before this one if you want. Very early season, and after you do take a look at this one and take a look at that one, don't forget to subscribe. These are on YouTube and IGTV, not exclusively, but those are the only two places you can find them. There is no just audio version of these, so subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram if you enjoy these videos so you can see them as they come out. Now, Suicide 6 is small, which is awesome. It's kind of it's on a main road, but that main road is off another main road, and that main road that it is on eventually turns to dirt, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of out of the way, kind of a hidden little place. Not really hidden. That makes it sound like I know more than other people do, and that it's not popular, because it is. It is also on the Indy Pass. It is an Indy Mountain, Indy Pass, one of the best values in ski passes around. And I have only used mine 4 times, and I've already more than paid for it. So that is all big plus. Suicide 6, because it is smaller, because it is kind of out of the way, because it is independent, has an awesome smaller town vibe, and it's great. But how's the skiing? Well, as I always say, you don't need 1 billion feet of vertical to have a good day. You just don't. And you're not going to get that here. 600-foot vertical, that's all you get. So you can go up and down it all day. You won't get as much as a place that's twice as high or 3 times as high or so on up the line, obviously. But it is still a great place. Now, the first day I went there, the very first day I went there, I said it was great. They had a great trail. I always take the easiest way down from the top as my warm-up run every time. And that was only one of a handful of trails I rode that my first day there. I didn't get to see a lot of the mountain that day. What was open it had an okay amount, but really it was still minimal. It was still very early season. It was, I think it might have been their opening day, number 1. Number 2, what they had was based on that big storm, a couple months ago that dropped like 4 feet of snow at one shot here in Vermont, which doesn't happen often. Not all at once. Like, we get enough snow throughout the winter, but not all at once. And so that was pretty cool. And then people were already there taking advantage of it. You could see some of their, on their front face, which would be their north face, right on the front of the mountain, people had been ripping it up all week before the opening, been uphilling, which they very much embrace. Again, just like on my first day, on this day, I saw not lines of people, because this last day I went, that Friday, which was about on the 29th, January 29th, Friday, January 29th, there were people going uphill, but it weren't a lot of people. And that's one of the beauties, like I was saying, it's small, independent, kind of out of the way, even on a Friday, which is definitely a weekday. That's still weekday skiing. There wasn't that many people there. The parking lot was never full. The lift lines were never long. It was wonderful. I can't say I had the place to myself, because there were noticeable people around, but there was still just room to spread out and cruise and glide and all this. Now, back to the point, since I just kind of went off on a little tangent there. I only got to see a few trails that were open and that I felt up to doing. Like I said, this is my rebuilding year, so I'm not hitting diamonds, and I'm not hitting a lot of, ungroomed stuff like I have. Like, don't get me wrong, and I had the powder day at Bolton and everything like this. I am doing it, but I'm not doing it in excess. And that, combined with the fact that the first day I was there wasn't a lot of mountain open, I only really got to see the one side, which was very cool. Blue trails, green trails, very easy stuff. Very nice, not too narrow, not too wide. Well, a couple trails are actually pretty wide, but never too narrow. A lot of different, if you're looking for some challenge, there's challenge there. And the second day I went on the 29th, there was a lot of challenge there, because pretty much the entire mountain was open. Not the whole mountain, like it wasn't 100% to be sure, but what they had combined groomed and just open, even though there were the warning signs, thin cover and everything. They still had a lot open, and if like I said, if you ride them out, let's see if I'll put up this a little bit of video right here. If you look, and this could actually sum it up. In this video here, on the left-hand side of your screen, it's the face. That's a trail. It's a black trail. They use it as a racer trail. It's a black diamond trail. It's got a steep to it, and people kind of come cooking down that, and it's a nice trail. I haven't done it yet, but it's cool. Then just to the right of that is another bunch of black stuff, but none of that is groomed. It's bumped up. It's natural. It's got some steeps in it as well. Now, if you could see that from that video, because Tim didn't think to get a better video of it than what he was just, I was just wearing my GoPro at that time, that you can see that even for a small place, you have choices. And that's really what matters. Do you have choices? And sometimes it doesn't matter if you have a lot of choices. You know, indoor facilities, you know, they don't have many choices, yet they can still be fun. This has plenty of choices and it's still small. So for the most part, I did start my day over in the area I had already been in, doing the easier stuff, the north or the western side of the mountain. And that's great. Now, here's what I didn't get to try the last time. It would be off towards their terrain park and their terrain park area, and underneath that old Sopo Ranch Longhorn, which I'll put some more video up. You can see that here. And I actually went off and down. Now, I didn't get to see this before, but after you get past the Longhorn under the little trestle there, it just opens up and you get this great view, which I knew the view was there. I had seen the view during the summer. I had seen the view, you know, if you ride up the chair, you can see it's got a pretty decent view for not being one of the highest mountains in the state. You know what I'm saying? Still a decent view, still a beautiful day, and it's just this open, wide set of trails that's back there, and their terrain areas back there as well, which I didn't see a lot open yet. Again, they're not 100% open, but not everybody is. A lot of people are now. We've been doing pretty good on snow lately too, not to mention anybody who's been blowing it. So between snow guns and natural, a lot of places are getting to 100% or damn close. Anyway, you go down there, and again, along the side, just like with any mountain, their front face is always going to be, or typically going to be, the more difficult stuff, because if you're coming straight down the mountain as opposed to meandering out and around, more steeps, more straight downs, you know the drill. Same thing over there, a few more areas of more, not, I don't want to say advanced, but definitely cool stuff to see. At one point you do come near a road, I think, and that road goes up and around. It's very cool back there. And it runs down into, that day it ran down into an area that was not groomed up, it was not maintained, which is fine. It was still open. It wasn't like it was unsafe. You know, it just depended on if you knew how to ski, and I know how to ski. I wasn't doing as well though, but we'll get into what I found there at the recap portion. As for the review portion, man, this place, I will still say, what I said in the first video was, I can't wait to go back and check out more of the mountain to see how cool it really is. I stand by it. I absolutely stand by it. From getting able to go out to another part of the mountain I didn't get to because it wasn't open the first day I went, with the nice views, that nice wide open trail, to the more advanced stuff if you're into it. I'm not into it yet. Honestly, I don't know if I need to be into it again. I am more than happy being a blue and green cruiser for the rest of my ski life. You know, I'm more than happy with that because I'm having a good time doing it. It means I can't keep up. I'm going to have to practice more of that stuff to be able to keep up with people once I get to ski with people again, probably. But when I'm by myself, I can do what I want, and I can just cruise and have a good time there. So that fact is, for a small mountain, tons of choices, in my opinion. Enough choices to keep you busy for a day, for difficulty in terrain. Great views, great location. I love the location of this place because it is on a 2-lane paved road. At that point, it's not 50 miles an hour anymore, but that 2-lane paved road comes off one that is 50 miles an hour outside of the towns. Like, that's a true highway that goes between Woodstock and I forget where it goes exactly, but I have been out there and I do know how to get to places from there. But this road, you know, like I said, it turns to dirt. It goes from a 2-lane highway that at some points are 35, 45, 50 miles an hour, I think. And maybe it only tops out at 40. I could be wrong. But the point is, it's kind of out of the way. So, and again, I hate using that word hidden gem. for me because it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about, like I know the secrets. I don't know the secrets. The place is popular. It ain't a secret. Like, it's there, it's open, it's advertised, it has social media. The inn in town it has a whole package. You stay at the inn, you can ski at the hill. I think I can't remember the Woodstock Inn's actual package deal. Go to their website to figure it out. But it's not like it's hidden, but it's not in plain sight either. And that means that even on its most packed day, it's not going to be so packed that, like, the bigger places, right now we're hearing about it. We're absolutely hearing about how it already looks like it's business as usual. Like, there is no more pandemic at some of these ski mountains. And I'm talking about that on this week's podcast episode, Ski Rex Media Podcast, which is also on YouTube, IGTV, and plenty of audio only versions. That's available in more places. And if I've done that, if that's gone up before this, then that will also be linked up in the corners there as well. So you can watch my take on this being business as usual. In any case, this mountain, I would suggest to anyone, it is worth it. Some people do need the big mountain. They need the big mountain, the bigger resorts with all the amenities and everything, man. This is a small place that has a single attached quad, a J-bar, and I think they have one other lift, maybe a double chair. Offhand, I can't remember. Again, don't have notes. I got to really start taking better notes. But yeah, it's a quad, it's a double, and it's a J-bar, and that's it. And there's, a bunch of trails, but plenty of just different terrain. It's not just a bunch of trails. It's not like 20 trails with, 15 greens, 3 blues, and 2 blacks. It's, there's more than 20 trails, and there's a good, a good balance between green, blues, blacks, whatever you want, whatever you're looking for. Plus, they do have a terrain park when it is open and when they are ready to open it. And they're fully, it's a fully functioning lodge. They have a full ski patrol, and they're doing things the way everybody else is doing. You go in the lodge for 5 minutes, boot up at your car, all this. But booting up at your car and using your car as your lodge isn't a big deal when the parking lot isn't so big. You got to walk a mile. You walked, 100 feet and you're back at your car. I did it. I ate lunch in my car. I booted up in my car. I left my water in my car. I went back for it. I forgot something else in the car. I went back for it. And it didn't matter even in ski boots because the car was right there. I could see my car from the lift. And it wasn't like I was parked at the lift. It was across the parking lot, and that wasn't far. And like I said, the parking lot wasn't even that full that day. Suicide 6, very awesome. I wish I would have tried it when I was younger. Because I knew it was up here. I just never took the time to drive up here. I worked for Mount Snow, American Skiing Company back in those days. What was on my pass? Mount Snow and Haystack, so I was always down there, and Killington, so I was always up there. My time was split between those two. I didn't venture out and look at the smaller things. I was into skiing the bigger places, and even though these are the bigger places in Vermont and in the Northeast at Killington, they're definitely not the biggest in the world, and they're definitely not the biggest in the U.S. But the point stands is that there is something about the smaller places, the indie places, that I'm very happy that I purchased an indie pass, and I'm very happy that I found Suicide 6. Again, for a small place that's not so high, you don't get a lot of vertical, there's definitely choices in terrain. The snow is fine. They have modern snowmaking, so they can cover what they need to cover. It's in a place where they've gotten snow. Like, they got a piece of that 4 foot too. I don't think they got the whole 4 feet, but they got enough where people were up there ripping it up before the place opened, doing the uphill thing, and they embrace that as well. They only have one uphill route, but it doesn't take you long if you're good and if you're in better shape than like me. It's not a big deal. And you can just go up and you ski down, and they have their rules. So check that out as well. I don't know what their rules are offhand, but generally the rules are please have an uphill pass that is mountain specific to each mountain, even the small ones. But it usually costs $5 or $10 and sign in at the lodge before you go up. That's the general, and then always check your mountain for specifics. But Suicide 6, definitely very awesome. Definitely loved it. The second day out, when I got to explore more, I like it even more, and I can't wait to explore more. In fact, next year, if I'm still living in this area, which may or may not happen, I have plans too. I probably live in Vermont, but maybe not in this area. But I'm thinking, man, that might be a mountain worth the mountain specific pass. You can just go there all the time. Plus Indy Pass mountains are, Indy Pass could be an add-on to a mountain specific pass. So where mine cost $199, if I would have bought a mountain specific pass, it would have only been like $129 or $99 maybe. No, that's not right. Definitely $129 at some point though. Again, their prices, like all passes, fluctuate. Early in the season cheaper. As the season goes on, the price goes up. So go to Indy Pass's website, indyskipass.com, and they will, you can see their pricing breakdown and check that out for next year. And like I said, if I'm in this area, that Suicide 6 pass, that might have to happen. Like, I would love to have a mountain-specific pass to this place and go there all the time. That's how much I liked it for around here, especially, and and having an Indy Pass to travel to the other places like Bolton, Jay Peak, Magic, and then the places in New Hampshire, Mass, New York, and so on and so forth. Right now, since I love it so much, let me tell you how I skied it that day. I was good. I skied good. I skied well. I was definitely in decent form, and that's after that bad day at Bolton, which was like the week before. I had a rough day, but at Suicide 6, I was killing it. I was doing really well. The ungroomed stuff did challenge me because I hit it without being planned for. So I'm like, whoa, a little shaky. But I held it, except for one part in particular. Now, let's see if we can see it in this part of the video right here. As we play it back, you might be able to see the camera kind of bump, or see me bump a little bit. I can't even explain how it happened, but let me explain what did happen. I turned, I caught an edge, and I almost did a Van Damme style split. Remember, he used to do those in the movies back, his action movies back in the 90s, the full split? I almost did that on skis. I can't do that off skis. I've never been able to do a split. Even when I was in great athlete shape, I definitely wasn't flexible. So that was probably my worst thing of the day, but I recovered from it and it wasn't even a problem. As you can see, I recovered for it and kept going. So we could see that in the video, and I just kept going. It stopped me for a minute or for a second or two, but I was good. All in all, it's all about endurance. That's something I definitely have to rebuild. Plus, I got a few other things going on there I should probably see a doctor about, but we'll talk about that at a different time. All in all, the recap is I skied it pretty well, and I say explore the whole mountain. I can't even give you a favorite trail yet because I liked pretty much everything I touched. And I didn't even touch the hard stuff yet at that place. And even though I used both of my Indy Pass days, I still get a discounted day. I might hit it one more time just for the fun of it. I think that'll be all right. So, Suicide 6, thank you very much. Very awesome. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This one's going to be shorter than most of my review and recaps, but because this is a part 2, it should be. I could say that second day up there, I liked it even more than I liked it the first day. And because the season's progressing, I'm doing better, and I did better that day. So, thank you for watching. Enjoy Suicide 6 if you go. I think you should. Check them out. Follow them on social media. Follow Indy Pass on social media. Check them out. Definitely worth it, especially like I always say, buy the pass you can abuse. And this one comes at a great price. It has great mountains that you might not necessarily try because they are independent and are smaller, and people are driven to the bigger, super popular places where these places have a following. They are popular, but they're popular in a different way. And it's kind of hard to explain until you experience it. So I think you should do that. Pick up an Indy Pass. Check out those hills. It's a great price. And, like I said, 4 days, and I've more than paid for it. And the winter's still not over yet. It's February, and I still have plenty of places to go and plenty of time to do so. So check all those out. Check out your local mountain. Have a good day. I hope you're having a good weekend, or week or weekend, depending on when you see this. I hope you're having a good winter. Thank you once again. Subscribe to everything. You'll see it all down in the description. Social media, the website, the Patreon page. Check it all out. I appreciate it. Thank you. I am Tim from SkiRex Media, and I will see you out there as soon as I am able. Suicide 6. Check it out. Thank you for that.